All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Little Monsters Comic Pop Deep Dive. We are back again with another deep dive.
Yes, we are.
This is number 8.
Lucky number 8.
This time, we are going back to the 90s.
All right.
We are going all the way back to April 1995.
Okay.
Cracking open the very first issue of Preacher.
Preacher. What a book.
So grunge was king.
That's right.
Internet was still kind of a novelty back then.
Yeah, just making its way into the world.
And Preacher hit the shelves.
It did.
Introducing this world where we got a small-town preacher with a troubled past who gets this power of Genesis.
Right.
This otherworldly force.
Yeah.
Born from an angel and a demon.
A weird combo.
Talk about a recipe for chaos, right?
Absolutely. It really throws you in head first.
Yeah.
Into this bizarre world. Violent, often hilarious.
Yeah.
And it raises questions about faith, free will,
Yeah.
the nature of power. You know it off the bat.
Right from the very beginning.
From page 1.
You're hit with that.
You are.
Like, what would you do?
Yeah.
Imagine if you suddenly had this power of Genesis. Would you use it for good?
Right.
Or would you just be corrupted?
Would you just be like,
It's
I'm
like-
going to make everybody do what I want?
It's a question I think everybody kind of thinks about.
It is.
Like, who hasn't wanted to make somebody do something
That's right.
just with the sheer force of their will? I mean, it's kind of a
Classic.
classic trope.
Yeah,
But in this case, it's very interesting how they play that out.
it is. And it's great to see how Jesse Custer, our preacher protagonist,
Yes.
grapples with this right away
Right.
from page 1.
Plus, this first issue introduces this entire cast of characters
It does.
who just became icons.
Instant icons.
Tulip O'Hare,
Yes.
Jesse's fiery ex-girlfriend,
Ex-girlfriend. Yep.
Cassidy,
Cassidy the vampire.
hard-drinking, chain-smoking vampire,
That's right.
and the Saint of Killers,
Oh, my goodness.
which is just this terrifying, unstoppable force of vengeance.
Unstoppable.
Like, talk about a memorable first impression.
Memorable. I mean, talk about first impressions. This is a huge book for comic collectors.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially those who love first appearances.
Yeah.
Because this is where it all begins.
You're a big collector yourself.
I am.
So if someone out there managed to snag a copy of Preacher #1 back in '95, and they kept it in good condition,
Oh, my goodness.
what are we talking about?
You're talking about a nice little nest egg. A high-grade copy can go for about $80 these days.
Really? Wow.
Which is not bad for a book that's, almost 30 years old.
That's true.
But it's not just the first appearances
Right.
that make this book valuable.
We got to talk about those variant covers.
Oh, yeah.
So for anyone new to comics,
Yeah.
a variant cover is basically
Basically, it's the same issue, same story inside,
Right.
but different artwork on the cover.
different artwork.
Could be by a different artist.
Yeah.
Could be a different style, a
Yeah.
different take on the story.
Yeah.
But the insides are the same.
But Preacher #1 has a whole bunch of them.
It has a fair share.
Yeah.
And some of them are really tough to find.
Like that German edition.
Oh, yeah.
Limited to 100 copies.
I know a guy who has one.
Really?
He keeps it locked up in a
Yeah.
vault.
I bet he does.
It's incredibly rare.
I bet.
Very sought after.
Makes
It's
sense.
very valuable.
It's crazy how those limited editions can just like skyrocket the price.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
for a book that's relatively new.
It all comes down to scarcity and demand.
Uh-huh.
Fewer copies.
Yep.
More people want it.
Supply and demand.
Price goes up.
There you go.
It's a little microcosm of economics playing out in the world of comics.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So we've got iconic characters,
we do.
thought-provoking themes,
Lots of them.
and a valuable collectible, all packed into one debut issue.
Colin,
What more could you ask for?
it's really a great example of how these indie titles, especially in the 90s, were pushing boundaries, Exploring these kinds of narratives you wouldn't find in mainstream comics.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what other hidden gems are out there, waiting to be rediscovered.
That's something to think about.
Mm.
So for all you listeners out there, if you had any encounters with Preacher, if you read the comics, you've seen the TV show, maybe you've got a copy of issue #1 tucked away somewhere, let us know.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Share your thoughts, share your experiences in the comments. Until next time, keep those pages turning.
Keep reading.
Hey, we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.